everyone, this is Samya and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about something which a lot of people struggle with, and it is I don't have enough time to learn English because I'm quite busy in my life. I'm a student, I'm working, I have my kids to take care of, I have my family to look after. So there are multiple reasons behind this. But I want to learn English. Then how can I make my time to learn English, or what activity I should be following every single day which may help me to learn English easily? So first of all, we need to keep one thing in our mind, that English is not a subject. But a lot of people treat English as a subject, because once upon a time I did the same thing. But we have to understand that English is a language. So if you have decided to learn any language or even any skill, you will have to completely immerse yourself in that particular thing. Now you might be thinking that I am saying here that I don't have time at all to learn English, but this girl is talking about immersing myself in the language. Then how am I supposed to do that? It's not an issue. If I am telling you to completely immerse yourself in the language, does not necessarily mean you have to spend your entire day learning this language or practicing this language. So let me give you an example. When you were learning your mother tongue, be it Hindi or any other language, whatever your mother tongue is, how did you learn that language in your childhood? Did you sit down with multiple books, or did you focus on every single grammar rules or vocabulary? No, you were only surrounded with those people who were speaking in that particular language. So that's how you began learning your mother tongue. So what I'm trying to say here is, if you have to learn any language, you will have to completely immerse yourself in that particular language. Now you understood that if you have to learn any language, you will have to start by watching and listening. Now you might say that I don't have time at all to watch movie for hours, or I don't have time at all to watch any sort of video in English. Then no problem, I got you. There are a lot of people who can't make their time to watch movies or watch any sort of videos in English. So again, I have a solution for it. So let me give you an example of mine. So whenever I feel or whenever I think that I don't have time to watch movies or to watch any sort of video in English, what exactly I do? I always prefer listening rather than watching. Because when you are listening something, you can easily do it while commuting or while doing your stuff, while cooking, while taking care of anything. But when it comes to watching, it consumes a lot of time. So what I usually do whenever I like any particular video, but I don't have time to watch that entire video, so I just download the audio of that particular video. So whenever I get free time, I try to listen that podcast or that video. So sometimes it takes time to reach to our destination. Like if you are a student or if you are working, it will take some time to reach to your college or to your office. Then you can use that spare time appropriately by listening something in English. There's another thing which you can do. I'm damn sure most of you are using Instagram, Facebook, or any kind of social media platform. So whenever you get free time, instead of scrolling reels or watching any unnecessary stuff, you can watch any valuable stuff. Like there are plenty of videos, there are plenty of motivational videos, productive kind of videos, and you can watch any kind of video related to your interest. It will really help you to gain your knowledge, and it will also help you to use your time productively. There are a lot of people who prefer listening to news. So instead of watching that news in your mother tongue, try to watch it in English. Again, it will help you a lot to become comfortable in English language. So the next step we all have followed while learning our mother tongue after listening is reading. So now you may be saying that, well, it comes to listening, it's okay while commuting, but I can't make my time to read in English. Then don't worry. I'm going to tell about something which has helped me a lot to read in English whenever I get free time. So whenever I felt that I don't have time to find a book and read them, I read everything on my mobile phone. And I think it would be pretty easier for you to reach out to your phone because probably it is always in your hand. What exactly I do whenever I feel that I don't have books to read in English, especially whenever I'm outside, or if I feel that I don't want to find books and then read them, so I just open my phone. You can go to Google or Chrome browser and search any topic related to your interest. You will be suggested multiple articles or blogs as per your interest. So instead of scrolling reels and instead of doing unnecessary stuff on your phone, try to use your time productively. So you can read that article or blog to improve your English in your free time. I follow this step whenever I am outside. So if I went to attend my class and I get to know that my teacher has not come yet or my class is going to be conducted a few minutes later, so I think it's very obvious for all of us that once we get to know that we have some free time, we quickly reach out to our phone. So what actually I do, instead of scrolling reels or watching any unnecessary stuff, I always prefer reading in English rather than watching because I can't disturb people, especially if I don't have earphone or headphone. So when you're trying to read variety of materials and trying to know about different topics, it will not only help you to understand the context and improve your English, but once you started getting into the depth of variety of materials, it will expand your vocabulary and help you choose right words while speaking in English. So after following these two steps continuously, you would have immense amount of knowledge in English. So now there's another step which you can follow, and it is start talking to yourself in English. Now you may be thinking that what the heck this girl is actually talking about. So let me make this point very clear to you that whatever you are thinking in your mother tongue, so obviously there are a lot of thoughts come to our mind very often, that why did it happen, how did it happen, and something like that. So instead of thinking them in your mother tongue, try to think them in English. In the beginning you may struggle with this little bit, I can tell you this very clearly, but if you are following these two steps continuously, or you are continuously trying to shift that language from your mother tongue to English and trying to think everything in English, everything would become quite easier for you. Let me give you an example of mine. So whenever I feel that I don't have time to talk to somebody, or I don't even have time to talk to myself, or whenever I am outside, so I think everything in English. You can think anything in English, like if you're having ice cream, so instead of complimenting that ice cream in your mother tongue, try to say that, wow, this ice cream is really delicious, I really like that taste. So something like that. You can say anything, whatever comes in your mind. You can observe people around you and say whatever you want, but you have to make sure that you are saying everything in English. So in the beginning, you can start with very small and simple sentences. You don't need to get into complexity. You don't need to try to use fancy words. In the beginning, you will have to start with very simple and small words. But then gradually, you can build up complexity. And you will have to make sure that whatever vocabulary you learned while reading and listening in English, you have to use them to express yourself, otherwise you may forget them. So it's better to use them and make them stick in your mind. So I follow this step whenever I go to attend my class. So if I am getting late, I would tell to myself that, hey Sam, you are getting late, so you will have to walk a little bit faster, because once you get late, your teacher will not let you enter in the classroom. So you can see I started with very simple and small sentences, and then gradually I moved to complexity. So that's how I begin a story, and it goes on and on. So you will have to start with very simple sentences. So that's what you have to focus on. I still remember one incident. After being comfortable with the shift of language from my mother tongue to English, I literally got crazy. So one of my teacher was taking class and she was making a point clear to all of us. So after describing a topic in my mother tongue, she was taking a pause for few seconds. So what exactly I was doing? I was translating everything from Hindi to English, in that few seconds. And that's how I was making myself understand the topic. So what I am trying to say here is, if you are following this step over and over again, you will become comfortable with this shift of language from your mother tongue to English, and it would become quite easier for you. So in the beginning, if you are not able to construct hard sentences, or if you are not able to construct long sentences, it's perfectly fine to construct small and simple sentences, and then gradually you can move to the next step, such as describing yourself, like how you are feeling, how was your day. You can talk about any specific incident which has happened in your life. You can talk about your best friend, your family members, anything. You can try to describe everything in your own words in English. After following given steps, you will easily be able to speak in English. And in the beginning, I would always prefer you to speak to yourself rather than finding a partner, especially when you have fear of making mistakes or when you're afraid to speak in English. First of all, try to become comfortable with yourself while speaking in English, and then look for a partner. So after following these given steps, I'm damn sure you can easily speak English. So these are the few steps which do not consume that much time, and you can easily follow them with your busy schedule. So that's all I had to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found this video helpful and interesting. Then please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because it means a lot to me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.